On the news tonight, 40 sound system mars APC presidential rally in Bauchi State. President Buhari inaugurates mega projects in Lagos. And security report says 39 Catholic priests killed and 30 abducted in 2022. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. A faulty sound system has unceremoniously ended the presidential campaign rally of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Bauchi State. The rally, which was ongoing at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium in Bauchi on Monday, was wrapped up when the light went off and could not be restored. The light went off shortly after the national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Adamu, mounted the podium and began delivering his speech. President Buhari, who was present at the rally, had to leave immediately with his entourage. Earlier at the rally, the president of the Senate, Hamad Lawan, took a swipe again at the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, alleging that while the party was in power, it abandoned the people in the northeast to Boko Haram insurgency. Lawan said it was not until President Buhari came into power before the region was eventually liberated from the clutches of Boko Haram.
There is something to be said about Bauchi people. You are an extremely loyal set of people. You reward loyalty. You reward track record. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he stood with your brother. He stood with your son. He stood with your father through thick and thin. At that time, another candidate abandoned your brother. He abandoned your father. It is now time to reward that loyalty. I want you all, people of Tafawa Balewa, to go en masse and vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because that is what your speaker has said. That is what the president has said. That is what all these governors have said. That is what APC has said. And APC, like I said, Buhari is Bauchi, Bauchi is Buhari.
Mr. President, the PDP abandoned the Northeast to Boko Haram, to insurgency. PDP abandoned us until you came into office. 2015, when you were showing your first task was to liberate us. Thank you very much, you did. Mr. President, we in the Northeast are the most probably important beneficiaries of your administration.
In Lagos, President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived the state on a two-day visit for a Lagos Festival of Projects commissioning. The president was received by Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his deputy Obafemi Hamzat, and members of the State Executive Council commissioned the Lekki Deep Sea Port and took a tour of the multi-billion-dollar facility. Speaking at the event, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu explained that the facility is a good representation of what good governance can achieve. He added that the capacity of the deep sea port is 4 times bigger than the Apapa and Tinkan port.
A total combination of federal government, Lagos State, and the private sector. And we're happy that this is happening in your time, because it all started within your time and it's been completed within your time as well. We're indeed excited that the size of the vessels that will be coming in here could be up to 4 times the size of vessels that are currently berthed at both Tinkan and Apapa Port. So it's a big, massive infrastructure, and we're indeed excited that in your own time, something fresh has been birthed into this country It's going to generate thousands and thousands of jobs directly and thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs indirectly in the entire ecosystem.
I want to take this opportunity to convey his greeting to you and wish you all the best in the Chinese Lunar New Year. This is the second day of Chinese Happy Lunar New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
I want to say very, very few words. First, really, this is engine of the economy, not only for Governor Lagos and also for the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Absolutely.
And second, really, this is the equity of investment. Mr. President, this is not loan, this is not borrowing, this is investment. We need not to consider about how can we repay the money back. We will collect revenue, taxes from this project. And third E is very important. I think this is a very good example. Lagos, Nigeria has set a very good example to do the 4 countries, 5 parties. So that means we have 40 nationals in this project. I salute and congratulate this kind of business model. I hope that we can continue, not only in Lagos, Mr. Governor. I hope that we can do out in the whole Nigeria.
Gunmen have killed the sole administrator of Idiato North LGA in Imo State, Chris Ohizu. Ohizu had been abducted by gunmen alongside 2 other residents on Friday. The attackers also set Ohizu's residence and vehicles ablaze. According to reports, the family of the late LGA boss paid ransom to the gunmen to secure his release. While still on insecurity, a report by SBM Intelligence has disclosed that at least 39 Catholic priests were killed by gunmen and 30 others abducted in the year 2022. In the report titled Attacks on Priests, released by the research outfit on Monday, 145 attacks on Catholic priests were recorded last year. According to the report, the North Central was the worst hit with 12 killings, while the Northwest recorded 9 deaths. Meanwhile, the Southeast and South-South recorded 5 deaths each, while the Northeast and Northwest had 4 deaths each. Well, to speak more on this development, the former Deputy Director, Department of State Services, DSS, Dennis Samakri, joins me now. Thank you very much, as always, for joining us. While it's no news that Catholic priests have become targets of attacks, are you surprised that this number is as high as 39, according to SBM Intelligence?
Thank you for having me. We have this preponderance of kidnappings of Catholic priests for 2 major reasons. First of all, is because they are very visible. People know who they are, maybe because of the way they dress, and of course their particular faith. And then, of course, most importantly, secondly, is that they've been paid the ransom. They've been paid the ransom, so it has looked like a lucrative, target to hit. So that targeted priests are people they are looking for. I think from the report we have almost about 50 billion naira being paid as ransom, average on each of the Catholic priests. And if 30 has been kidnapped for the whole of last year, you know what that means. So that's a problem, I basically think.
Now, what do these attacks say about Nigeria's security situation?
Say that again?
I was asking that what do these attacks say about Nigeria's security situation?
What is the fact about security situation?
What do these attacks on Catholic priests say about Nigeria's current security situation?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. It shows 2 things also. That we've not been very serious about response. And the security agencies are supposed to, either help in negotiation, but make sure that ransoms are not paid, but ransoms are being paid. In fact, I think people are not talking to the security agencies anymore. when things happen, they gather themselves in their churches and then go ahead and pay the ransom. Because I think there is this, distrust between the security agencies and the church. So it does not happen. And then, of course, for this continuous attack on churches and Catholic priests, we expected that a plan should have been put in place to make sure that they stop this process. So it's a very sad situation, and it is continuing.
But I must ask, before I let you go, we all know that every Nigerian is a moving target, but why the particular interest or attack on Catholic priests? I would like to know the why to that.
Like I said earlier, Catholic priests are very visible. They are very visible, and many people believe strongly that the Catholic Church is a very rich church. Because, like I said, the average ransom being collected for Catholic priests about 50 billion per person. So for this kind of money to be coming out, even coming out from overseas, if possible, to free Catholic priests, I think that's a major issue. And that tells us that we should discourage the payment of ransom. Because when you pay ransom, they go back, buy more arms, and they come back to attack you. But they should encourage the non-payment of ransom, and then at the same time, pursue these bandits or whoever they are, and don't give them any breathing space. Because I think it's becoming a real serious problem.
So definitely it's more or less a vicious circle. But then it's Makri, former Deputy Director, Department of State Services. Thank you very much for your time and your contribution on News Now. International passengers can now breathe a sigh of relief as striking ground handlers of the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company, NACO, have ended the industrial action that began Monday morning. In a statement signed by the management of National Union of Air Transport Employees, Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, and Nigerian Aviation Handling Company, NACO, negotiation on staff welfare would commence on Wednesday, the 25th of January 2023. The management also agreed that all staff should resume work immediately, adding that no staff would be victim as a result of the strike action. Earlier today, the NACO staff members were said to have walked out of the international airport, saying they were on strike. The protesting ground handlers were asking for increased salaries and other improved welfare conditions. The development grounded both arrival and departure flight schedules, leaving travelers frustrated as no prior communication was sent to passengers on the strike. It was a new beginning for the Chinese community in Lagos as nationals celebrated the Chinese New Year, commonly referred to as the Spring Festival. The event, which took place over the weekend in Lagos, marks the beginning of a new year on the traditional lunar solar Chinese calendar. Guests who attended the event were treated to cuisines of both cultures and created an opportunity for friendly interaction. In a speech, the Consulate General, People Republic of China in Lagos, Chu Maoming, said the celebration promotes the cultural communication between China and Nigeria. Nigerian dignitaries commended the effort and contribution of Consulate General of the People's Republic of China in Lagos and also the Chinese community in Nigeria.
For thousands of years, all ethnic groups have been living peacefully in China. Their communications and exchanges help shape the features of Chinese food, and gradually it develops into an inseparable treasure in Chinese culture. Chinese food culture is not static. It takes an active attitude in absorbing and learning from all achievements of food cultures created by a human being, including Nigeria. Dear friends, if you are careful enough today, you will find the Nigerian food features in some of the dishes here. I believe that the food culture, blessed with the excellent features of Chinese and Nigerian food, will surely become a flavoring agent to promote the development of good relations between our two countries.
It has become our yearly to support our Nigeria communities and orphanage homes. Nigeria also is my own second home. We are share love, we are share culture. We also push China-Nigeria culture. So far we are here, so we must more support the Nigeria communities. And also, just last year, we did support in education, and also we building for school, for 3 primary school in Okomaiko. So we do so many things for all, try our own best for Nigeria communities.
Well, we'll take a break here, but still to come. Djokovic crushes Damien Noor to reach Australian Open quarterfinals. Details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. A faulty sound system has unceremoniously ended the presidential campaign rally of the All Progressives Congress in Bauchi State. The rally, which was ongoing at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium in Bauchi on Monday, was wrapped up when the lights went off and could not be restored. President Muhammadu Buhari was present at the rally, had to leave immediately with his entourage. We also told you that President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived Lagos on a 2-day visit for a Lagos Festival of Projects Commissioning. The president was received by Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his deputy Obafemi Hamzat, and members of the State Executive Council commissioned the Lekki Deep Sea Port and took a tour of the multi-billion-dollar facility. Speaking at the event, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu explained the facility is a good representation of what good governance can achieve. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. China has reported nearly 13,000 COVID-19 related deaths in hospitals between January 13 and 19 after a top health official said the vast majority of the population had already been infected. The death toll came a week after China said nearly 60,000 people had died with COVID-19 in hospitals in just over a month, but there has been widespread doubt over official data since Beijing abruptly ended antivirus controls last month. China's Center for Disease Control and Prevention said in a statement on Saturday that 681 hospitalized patients had died of respiratory failure caused by a coronavirus infection, and 11,977 had died of other diseases combined with an infection over the period. Thailand has said tourist numbers have skyrocketed over the past year as coronavirus restrictions were eased, but are well below pre-pandemic levels. The holiday destination of Southeast Asia welcomed 11.81 million tourists in 2022, compared to just 400,000 the previous year. The Tourism Authority of Thailand also predicts that the number will more than double to 25 million this year. We'll take a break here and return with more stories to stay with us. Welcome back in business. The Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, have begun a two-day meeting that will determine the country's key lending rates for the next few months. At the last meeting in November, the Apex Bank raised the interest rate from 15.1% to 16.5% to tame rising inflation. Last week, the Consumer Price Index, which measures the rate of change in prices of goods and services, eased to 21.34% in December 2022, down from 21.47% in the previous month. What then is a possible outcome of the MPC meeting? Johnson Chukwu, the CEO, Kari Asset Management Limited, joins me now. As always, thank you very much for joining us. Now, what is the possible outcome of the rates considering Nigeria's current inflation and other parameters?
Let me start by thanking you for having me. My take is that the MPC will hold rates at current levels. You did mention some of these factors that will drive or will influence their decision, one of which is that inflation rate has moderated from 21.47% to 21.34%. Yes, a marginal decline. And then we've also seen that at the productivity level, we've seen also a decline in GDP growth rate between the second quarter and third quarter of last year, from 3.54% in the second quarter to 2.25% in the third quarter. So those are major factors that will drive the decision of the MPC. And my take is that, given that they wouldn't want to take any measure that will reverse the moderation we saw in interest rates, that means they will not loosen. Also, given that we also witness a sharp decline in economic activities, they're not likely to go to tighten further. So any tightening now at this point could tip the economy negatively. Any loosening will also reverse whatever gains that have been made in terms of moderation in inflation rates. So my take is that they will keep rates at current levels.
So if the MPC maintains a policy stance, what will be the implication on the economy?
Well, for economic operators, what we are going to be dealing with is that we're going to be dealing with current high interest rate environment. Of course, we've already seen an elevated interest rate environment in the past couple of months as a result of over 500% increase in MPC, about 500% increase in MPC rate. MPR rate from 11.5% when it started increase in May to 16.5% as of November last year. So we've also seen a 500% increase in cash reserve ratio from 27.5% to 32.5%. These factors have contracted available liquidity to the real sector of the economy, has led an uptick in interest rates. So if they keep rates at current levels, it then means economic operators will continue to deal with high interest rate environment. But the most important thing is that we wouldn't want this situation to worsen by the increased rate that we're going to deal with higher interest rates.
Well, indeed, Johnson Chukwu, the CEO, Kari Asset Management Limited, thank you very much for your contribution. And would have to wait for what the CBN governor will announce tomorrow after the end of the MPC meeting. But thank you very much, as always, for your time and your contribution. We'll take a breather now and return with a review of the stock market. Do stay with us. Trading on Monday, 23rd January, ended in the greens as all-share index inched up to 0.12%, representing a one-week gain of 0.59%. A total of 143 volumes of shares exchanging hands in 4,078 deals and corresponding to a market value of N1.77 were traded at the NGX. Compared with the previous NGX trading day, today's data shows 68% decline in volumes, 5% improvement in turnover, and 32% improvement in deals, with a market capitalization of 28.69 trillion naira. 115 NGX listed equities participated in trading, ending with 18 gainers and 13 losers. John Holt led the gainers with 9.38%, followed by Secure Electronic Technology. Now, on the losing side, Cornerstone Insurance Company came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 10%, followed by Computer Warehouse Group. Now, I switch to some of our selected global stocks. FTSE, Dow Jones and Nikkei all finishing on a bullish sentiment at 0.25%, 1.00% and 1.33% respectively. And we just hope for positive continuity for the rest of the trading days. We'll take a breather now and return with more stories on the foreign scene as well as sports. Just stay with us. California police have identified the gunman suspected of killing 10 people in a ballroom dance studio near Los Angeles as Hu Can Tran, aged 72, who was later found dead in a white van. He had a self-inflicted gunshot wound and was declared dead at the scene, LA County Sheriff Robert Luna said. Celebrations for Lunar New Year had been underway in Monterey Park, known for its large Asian population. The dance studio where the deadly shooting happened was known locally as a popular venue, especially on Saturday nights. In sports, Novak Djokovic has demolished Alex de Minaur for the loss of just 5 games to sweep into a 13th Australian Open quarter-final and sent an ominous warning on Monday, showing few signs of his troublesome hamstring. The Serbian brushed past the Australian 22nd seeds 6-2, 6-1, 6-2 on Rod Laver Arena to move a step closer to a 10th title at Melbourne Park and 22 major crowns. The 35-year-old was a man on a mission, expending a little energy as possible in a 2 hours, 6 minutes romp to inch within sight of Rafael Nadal's slam record. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.